Well, it's Pink Toe Saturday, so let's get caught up on Housewives of OC. Since we had Auntie Friday, where we caught up on Bill Collective and Love and Merge Huntsville. We don't care about Heather's privileged children going to college, but Heather wants to get back to acting. Okay, you fake it for this show. Over with Tamara, she's still taking down her gym. So the new girl, Jan, is there, and they're going over her issues with Shannon and her cussing her out at the last event. So she tell her to invite Shannon to her closing business party on Friday so she can apologize. But we find out that Jen and Tamara didn't speak because Jen was having an affair before she ended her marriage with Will. And she didn't want Will to think that she was participating in the cheat tag. Over with Gina and her boyfriend. They starting their little real estate business together. I don't know about that. Gina, however, gives Jen credit for being open, but she don't know if she want to be friends with a home wrecker. Over with Fecal Bador, she's struggling to get out of her car and go crystal shopping with her man. I can't believe she has a man. So she been with him for 3 years, but he won't move in. He with you for the coin. But then she gets a call from Tamara calling to apologize from the deepest part of her heart. Shannon says, well, thanks. I just don't want to hear that again. And Tamara says, I don't want to go backwards. I don't want to do this anymore. Why? It's all you've been doing for the past 15 years. So she invites her to the party on Friday, but Fecal Bador wants to talk about her hurt. Heather drops by Taylor's house. So we gonna have our little acting coach session for Taylor's role. So Heather wasn't really sure that Taylor was serious, but apparently she was. She wants her to be in this crap too. But Heather, it ain't like you got nothing else to do. Heather wants a more official offer because she don't want egg on her face. Smart. So we're doing some breath exercises. Talk from the diaphragm. Because Taylor is very nasally. So it's the night of the Cut Fitness party and we're sending off our gym. Taylor brought her coot and he saved her butt the last time because her husband passed on her and left her with nothing. Hopefully this coot's got some real coin. But she said he's hot and for a minute I laughed and then I thought about how sexy a paid bill was. That is hot. When Gina meets Ryan, the guy that Jen cheated on Will with, she thought he was going to be taller. Well, you haven't seen how tall he is horizontally. Heather congratulates Tamara. What are we congratulating her for? Her failure? So Fecal Bador shows up and Tamara immediately apologizes to her, but Fecal wants an apology for everything. However, at the party, Gina and Heather pull up Jen's Instagram post celebrating that her business is still open. And it's giving a little na-na tea. So Gina tells Jen as they sit down to dinner, I thought your post yesterday was interesting. I didn't even think you'd show up. Heather told her to not bring it up, but you know hard-headed Gina. Jen's trying to give some tired TikTok excuse, but ain't nobody buying it. So then, of course, Tamara hears about it, and she said, you posted this today? And she says, well, yesterday. Tamara sees the shade, too. Tamara, would I ever knock you for closing your business? I don't know. Yes, you do. I'm sorry. I don't know what you'd pull. We just met you, heifer. Jen gonna say, Gina, that is crap. Gina said, well, it is. You posted it. So we're all gonna chalk it up to timing, like Gina said. Emily thinks it was innocent. But then we go over Tamara and Jen's friendship and how Tamara had to move away because it got messy because she was friends with the husband and the cheating wife. However, Gina walks away because she doesn't think infidelity is okay. Well, you know what? Not your puss, not your peen. So mind your business. I'm sorry infidelity happened to you, but why you gotta judge everybody else that you ain't married to? They can only cheat on you if you with them. So now, Emily trying to get the timeline straight. So nobody's buying her timeline. She's like, well, he was in Oklahoma, but nothing was going on between me and Ryan at that time. We weren't even sleeping together. Honey, you cheated. You got divorced. It's over. Confess. Because otherwise these crones won't just let it go. And Tamara's saying, I think we should just be honest. Oh, Tamara says the husband caught him in a car, humping and bumping. So the little party ended without a hitch, and that was it. Let's head to the next one. So we open with Emily taking her daughter to John Casablancas or Barbizon, I don't know, Best Fiend. Tamara, meanwhile, is getting some cowboy boots to go to a dude ranch because they're looking for a second home. So, of course, Fecal Bador starts whining. Well, I can call her Shitten this far into the episode. Of course, Shitten starts whining that she still hasn't gotten a real apology from Tamara, but why would you want one from a false prophet? I don't mess with nobody that's gonna lie to the Lord. And now Gina speaks up about the timeline of the affair bothering her, but it's not your business. So Jen is afraid to marry her cheater though, because he's never stayed faithful. Do you just like the taste of stupid in your mouth, or is the dick that good? So over with Jen, she's telling us how much she loves being with her gigolo. So she telling him she don't want to be in another failed relationship, and she's concerned about his reputation, and he's like, well, we only 2 years in, so I can't predict the future. You can tell he got her dickmatized. Heather, you have had a wonderful life. We doing a little empty nest scene with her. You got to have a whole family with your first act, and now you're going to try to be an actress with your second act. You're going to be fine. We don't want to hear privileged heifers whine. Meanwhile, across town, Tamara and Taylor go out to dinner. But now Taylor starts whining about Heather being a little tepid about taking that role. No, Heather doesn't have a way of talking to you that makes you feel belittled. You're insecure. See, Taylor, you said it's my first movie role, not hers, so you be excited for you. But now you checked her IMDb and she's not this big actress you thought she was. Well, I don't know why she thought she was a big actress. I knew the heifer was a nobody, but she married well. So we all getting on the plane heading to the ranch. Well, Emily ain't gonna go because she ended up with the Vi-Vi. Oh, God. So Jen and Gina gonna take the bunkhouse when they get there. It looks very Three Little Bears. I mean, the mattress looks thick and comfortable. I'll give them that. It looks clean. It's just really like you might get a splinter. I think that the Supreme would say, naughty pine. But Jen gone room with her to try to get over some of the negative feelings over her chitete. Her lion's just gonna piss you off more, Jen. So after we saw the little cabins, now we're heading up to the villa, which I'd actually stay at. You can keep them slave quarters in the 1860s. So everybody's gotten settled into their room and ready for dinner, except for Heather, who's got to take another few minutes to touch up her makeup because she's just having one of her fits. I don't know how y'all can take Fecal Bador. So now we riding mechanical bulls. Shannon finally shows up, but she says riding the mechanical bull is too vagina for her. I could see it. I figure crones wouldn't have to worry about brittle bones, but hey, you know your body and your pussy. So we all sit down to dinner and we find out that Taylor is bisexual and had a full-blown 5-year relationship with a woman. Gina starts to warm up to Jen, but Shannon says she's got to call and check on her grown kids and everybody's confused, but she's got some secret fun planned, which is odd for her. Oh Lord, Shitten did put on some damn cowgirl madam outfit. So now we gonna have some drinks in the saloon. Tamara and Shitten toast to a new beginning. However, Taylor sits down with Heather and tells her, I didn't think you wanted to be in the movie with me because I'm a rookie actress. And Heather's like, I said none of that. I don't know why you feel that way, but that's you, not me. Heather said, until I get a script from production, it's not really real. Heather said, it's not your movie, heifer. You don't have a part to give me. This is all in your head. And she right. So Heather asked Taylor, so are we actually good now? And she's like, yes, and they hug and kiss it out. But then Taylor says, well, you would have had to send in a casting tape. And Heather says, oh, they weren't impressed with my IMDb. Heather said, so your IMDb was good enough, but I need a casting tape. And Taylor said, well, you would have had the bigger role. So now Tamara says, well, we pulled up your IMDb at lunch and, you didn't have that many credits. Heather says, it sounds very punitive to look me up like that. Well, you are an actress, Heather. I think both of you are overreacting like Gina. Taylor said, well, with your acting pedigree. Heather said, pedigree? I'm not a pet. Tamra said, now hold on, Taylor. You didn't think her IMDb was that impressive. Oh, God, now Heather says, well, I put my life on hold for my family like so many women do, so that's why my IMDb isn't as impressive. Heather said, well, Taylor, you're making a mountain out of a molehill to offer me something that wasn't yours in the first place. You want to shit-talk my career? F ya. Well, that was the shit. Let's get to the next one. The Pink Toes got a plot. So now we open with who took the actual shot at Heather's IMDb because somebody said her last credits were in the late 1900s. I want to slap the living shit out of whoever came up with that. So it was Tamra who threw the jab. Heather gets up and tells Taylor they're good. So now Tamra gonna go in the bathroom with Heather and act like she consoling her when she's the one who said it. Heather says, tell me the truth. Were you rude? You know she gonna lie. Yep, Heather, she lied. And it's gonna be disappointing when they roll the beautiful mean footage. But now we head to the kitchen before bed and throw gummy bears at each other. Lord, Fecal Bedore sticks her tongue in Tambra's mouth. They always playing with their little lesbonics. The crone wants some coochie. Taylor's with the other girls in one of the living rooms and asks Gina and Jen, was Tamra dishing on me in the bathroom saving her own skin? And the answer is yes. So now Taylor don't know if she trusts Tamra, and she shouldn't. Over with Shitten and Heather and Tamra. They're talking about Shannon being shockingly pro-Taylor. But then Tamra gets to talk about Jen's relationship and how her man's cheating on her. So apparently he had his eyes set on Tamra, but because she's with her man, he's settled for Jen. So it's the next morning and everybody's hungover. Fecal Bedore's making pancakes. Oh, now Emily's suddenly better from the vi-vi. Heifer, you just didn't want to go. So today's activity, we're going to be cleaning shit. Well, y'all ain't shit and you're full of shit, so I think it's high time you learn this skill. So Heather, Tamra, and Gina are going to clean the stalls while the other heifer's going to play on a tractor. However, Fecal Bedore has to make sure that her gigolo wanted to sleep with Tamra first. I mean, he didn't know the other heifer for 2 months. He was single at the time. Why is this such a big deal? I mean, it's California. Y'all are a circle of incest anyway. Y'all never leave your little towns. Over with Gina and Heather. Gina's telling Heather Tamra's the one that was taking a shot at you, not Taylor. Heather still don't believe Gina. Gina's trying to be a friend. She's like, look, if you want to let it go, we can let it go. But after that, we got more farm hijinks. Now we're breaking for lunch. Gina tells Jen she's enjoyed getting to know her beyond the infidelity. Heather said she ain't never doing a trip like this again, and I don't blame her. Gina, you got too many opinions on what this heifer did for you not to have been married to her. Jen said it ain't my job to make you feel good about my past. Her puss, her prerogative. Oh, Gina said, I'm also hearing some inconsistencies that are an issue for me. Gina says, well, Tamra knows you the best and she's always threatening to tell you business. So there must be some business to tell. Jen is upset that Tamra ain't come to her, but Tamra said, I think you should tell the truth. And she's told about your affair and about your man's affair. Just call it polygamy and call it a day. Lord, now she crying over her ex-husband. Well, girl, you left him. Over with Emily, she's got her daughter going to that Barbizon. Her husband asking her if she got time to be dropping her off to all these gigs. I mean, she does have to do a show for Bravo. Oh, God. Tambra's tricking the girls into going out camping in the middle of nowhere. I'd slap you. And you could use a slap. But now Fecal and Tamra are having a private sit-down. Tamra really apologizes for all the crap over 2 years, so good. Now that we've got another plot line, we can cut the crap. So now the girls get out to their campsite in tents. They got a fire and everything. It's pretty. Oh, and they're gonna learn how to cook over a fire. I don't need to do that. Well, it would be a good skill, but I ain't. So we're all eating and having a few drinks. It had gotten dark, and Tamara asked Taylor if she ever made fun of Heather's career. Taylor said what we said could have been taken as sarcastic, but we weren't making fun of her. But you were, Tamara. You're just trying to cover your ass. But the footage shows you saying the late 1900s. You thought it was cute. Fortunately, Gina's there to defend herself, and she said, well, Taylor said you're the one that said late 1900s. So now Tamara says, well, Gina, goodbye. I don't know why you're involved, because Heather's my friend. So now Heather's going to say, well, you know, Gina, you were kind of making it a thing, but thanks for checking on me. Stop playing both sides of the fence, Hev. Tamara said, well, Gina, I thought we were cool. I didn't know you were trying to stab me in the back. Don't nobody want your narrow back, heifer. Jen said, well, actually, I know Tamara's pattern of not having backs because she doesn't have mine. As far as it goes with my messy divorce. If you were my friend, you'd let them hear it from the horse. So Tamara says, well, I have some built-up resentment because your man said he wanted to hump me. That shut Jen up. She went, that white people purse slip. Expressions of dismissal. So Gina says, oh, you think I'm a bad friend, Tamara? What was this? Tamara, it's not that you didn't want to hurt her. You just wanted to pull it out on the show to have a moment as a villain. This is Phaedra. Then Tamara says, well, your husband caught you two in the parking lot, giving that stick shift snatch, that parked pussy, that car coochie, that driving dick, windshield wop, tire twat. Will and Ryan look very much alike. I'd have stayed with the first one. Now Fecal saying, well, why would she walk away from a marriage unless she knows that he's gonna come with her? Fecal Bedore said, well, how's she gonna leave her husband if she ain't had the dick yet? Oh, Jesus, Gina, she walked away from her marriage. Okay, and? So now Gina's having a fit. Oh my goodness, she's gotta call her boyfriend and Heather's calming her down. Oh, Lord. She is not your man. You are taking this way too personal. Oh, God, now Tamara's saying, I just don't want Ryan to cheat on you. Well, you're really doing good for their relationship, talking about how she was cheating. So she says, well, I know he sent Heather a dick pic. She said, I was there. We were on the plane. So go on and say he can't cheat because we open. So Tamara can keep her mouth closed. Jen and Tamara work it out and they gonna expect better from each other but continue to give less. But Tamara, you want him to cheat on her. You want her crying. You want her sad. You want to embarrass her, and I don't know why. Oh, it's because you're a crone, and you feed off of evil. However, Heather tells Gina, look, you better stop whining to your man about this nonsense or you're going to lose him. And that was the shit.